Hey, let's see if this is working. Hello, peeps. Anybody up? Anybody awake? Let's see if I can get this all working. Apologies about this. I've not actually done any live since before Christmas, so I'm just seeing if the setup's working at the moment. So bear with me whilst I play about with things. Oh, Bjorn's in. How you doing, mate? I'm just playing about with a few settings here. See if I can get this working. Because my cameras weren't working and all sorts of silly stuff. And can you hear me all right? I've not done any live since before Christmas, so I've only just got my broadband up and working at long last. I've been without broadband since just before New Year. So nice to see you in, Bjorn. Thanks for popping in. Don't expect a lot of people to be on because it's a school night. What are we? We're going into... I don't rattling away with things here. What date is this? This is Wednesday morning, 23rd of January. So there you go. 23rd of January already. Bloody hell, where's the time went? I think it's probably about a month since I've been on, actually. So yeah, I've got my new broadband up. It's not at full speed yet. The sort of, for the first, it only went live yesterday. So for the first sort of week or so, they tweak the speeds up and down to see what you can get on with. So I'm just it's a bit weird being back in camera. Yes, I've scraped the face and yeah, for the new year. So Bjorn's setting up his stream as well, since you've now gotten a new laptop and webcam. Good for you, mate. And you're doing all right. That's good to hear. So yeah, I've done nothing for a fortnight. Absolutely nothing at the bench. I've been gaming quite a bit. So yeah, I suppose I should say Happy New Year to anybody that tunes in, because I've not seen anybody since before New Year. Yeah, still smoking. That resolution didn't work. So before the new year, I'd started this Russian, get it the right way, this Frogfoot kit that I won off at eMoples. So I'm going to get back out the box and see where I left off. Would be a good idea. I know I'm putting nav lights in it, and I was playing about with electricity and stuff. But the main thing at the moment, I think I was getting onto the second wing. Let's see. So I've got the first wing that I've kind of got built up, but as you can see, with all that white stuff, I've got a lot of seam lines and that to fill. So I was in the middle of doing that. I can remember doing that. So there's the engine pods for the other side. So I'll get those out. I'd figured out how it was all going to go through the body. I've got all the holes drilled for that, so that's fine. I think I'm onto these wing... Excuse me. I think I'm onto these wing pieces. I think that's where I'd got to. So that's probably where I'll carry on. It's quite nice getting back to the bench, actually. As I say, I've not done anything at all since before Christmas and that. So I think I was at the stage with this, if I remember rightly. I'd got the LEDs all in and working, which I will double check in a moment. I think I got them all in and working, and I was at the stage... I was at the stage with this one where I was going to do a final check that they were working before gluing the wings together. I think that's the stage I was at with this one. So this wing's together and in the middle of getting filled up. And this one is going to get that, try and get that to a similar stage, but I'm just going to check and make sure everything's working. So yeah, nice to see you in, Bjorn. Seems like I'm lagging a little, so I don't think my speed's very good, and also I'm using an older version of Minicam, which does lag out, and there is absolutely nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Let's see if I can move this about to a better... See if I can get that down there. And let's go into the bench shot, see if that works better. With me up in the top corner. Can I get myself up in the corner a bit more? There we go. Yeah, absolutely nothing I can do about the lag. Unfortunately, I'm on an older version of Minicam, so there is nothing I can do about that if I'm wanting to run the two cameras. So apologies about that. If my voice doesn't seem in sync with what's coming out in the audio, nothing I can do about it. It's actually a problem with Minicam because it program jumps in between your camera and Hangout, and it's quite system resource hungry, and it causes lag. And main thing I'm on to do is check that I can actually stream. Hoping they can tweak my speed up a bit. I don't think the speed's got anything to do with the lag that I'm getting at the moment. Excuse me, I'll just have a wee coffee. I would say the lag's wholly down to Minicam. I might try and get OBS up and running again because I've got OBS, and I might switch back to that because it doesn't lag as much. You've been working on your tanks still, and actually managed to solve the Arduino problem. Oh, good. So now you're working, put the lights in and setting up all the damned wires. The wiring's easy, but it's if you could get to the bottom of the code in an Arduino, you're far ahead of me, mate. The lag's not horrible, it's just noticeable. Yeah, it's Minicam. I'm on an old version. As I say, if I'm just going to do solo at the bench, I might look into. I've got OBS. It's not quite as drag and drop as this, but I might try setting up OBS. So I'm just going to double check me lighties is working. So let's just can't even remember the voltages here on it now. White one was 3 volts. I think that red one was 3 volts as well, actually. Let's see if I can get them working. Check they're working before I bang it all together. Said that just to the bishop. So I'll just check that first before I put any glue on anything. With these skinny wee wires. Oh, Stuart Bremner's in. Good night, good morning. Hope you're all okay. I'm doing all right, Stuart, actually. Pretty quiet new year. Been trying to get some bits and bobs done round about the house, but you know what it's like. I was away from my medical and everything, and I think everything's okay with that because, all right, that one's my landing light. So that's working. Just checking it's working before I plug it all in. So that's the landing light, and then I've got the red nav light. Let's just move that across there. All I need, where's my snippers? Oh, there they are. They're up there. The wee tag of wires popped off on this, so I'll just strip this back a bit. There we go. I'm trying to think if I made green the live, saying it was for the green nav light. And I think the orange is a negative. I'll soon find out if I've got it the wrong way around, because it won't work. There we go. There we go, the wee green light's working. What's wrong, Stuart? You've got man flu and can't sleep. What you need is some man up pills, mate. That'll sort that out for you. Available at most good chemists. Yeah, man flu's, it's terrible. Right, so I'll hold the end of that together. Alright, so my wee green nav light's working. So that's good. So that's pretty safe for me to glue this together, I think was the stage I was at with this. So yeah, I did actually get some work done over Christmas and New Year. I got back and got some painting done actually. My Peterbilt truck. It's all sitting in the cabinet there. I'm not want to touch it because black's really bad for getting fingerprints on. But I've got the gloss black base coat down on my Peterbilt truck. That was a marathon spraying session. It's a big beastie, and yeah, I've underestimated how much paint I need. I'm going to have to order some more up. But yeah, so I got a bit of the Peterbilt done. I was going to get the lacquer coat down on the bikes. I got prepped and couldn't be arsed. See, I usually get colds and flu around about Christmas time, but I'm not going to tempt fate. But I haven't this year as yet ended up with my usual man flu. So I've got a wee hole drilled in the edge of the wing there that I'm going to pass these wires through, and then I'm going to attempt to clamp all this together. And if it's anything like the other one, it's not going to fit that great, but we shall see when I get to it. So yeah, this is actually the first bit of model making as such I've done since Christmas, apart from the wee bit of spraying on the Peterbilt truck, which I will eventually get finished. But I think I want to get I've got 3 bikes to get out the way. I've got, no, this is not going to go through the hole, said the actress to the bishop. You will comply. Bear with me 1 second while I tell this wire exactly what I think of it. You little bastard. There we go, first bastard of the year. What is it? It's got a little bend on the end. Get through the hole. There we go. Through the hole. Here we go. Right, so that's me ready for getting some glue on that. Hey. That should all sit nicely together. Lovely. Yeah, I'm going to have to solder a couple of wee extensions on this, but I'll get the main body of the wing together first. So you can't shake your cold. That's a bit crap. Yeah, I hate having man flu. Absolutely hate it. Because, of course, when a man gets the flu, the whole world comes to an end. You know, women keep on having babies and stuff, but if a man gets man flu, that's it, totally knackered. I thought everybody would have forgot about me, actually, because when we've not been on for a month, it'd be like, oh, Terry's still here. I'm still here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be carrying on with the Saturday Night Lives yet. I'm in a decision-making process at the moment. Quite like doing the wee live at the bench things. But I'm thinking of just at the thinking stage of knocking the Saturday Night Lives on the head and giving them up, to be fair. Because I don't think people tune in a Saturday night just to see me. So I may, as I say, I'm still humming and hawing about it. Yesterday I was ready for going, you know what, not going to do them anymore. And then you speak to somebody and they go, you should. I don't know. I'll see. I'm going to concentrate on me this year. I'm going to concentrate and get out on my motorbike more. And trying to build up some sort of social life outside of modelling. Because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be a pastime, a hobby, and not your whole life. And it's kind of late turned into more like the only thing that I do, and it's a bit rubbish. So I'm still going to do my modelling, but I think there's a lot more to life than YouTube, sticking plastic together and stuff. So I'm going to try and get back. And I used to do a lot of events on my bike with the military charities and everything like that. So I think I will try and get back on with those, try and catch up with some of my biker mates. And get out more. It's pretty crap at the moment because we've had snow today and it's probably about -3 or -4 outside at the moment. So I'm just putting goopy glue on this at the moment because I know this doesn't fit very well. And it'll give me something to splurge out so I'll not have to use too much filler. Because it's not the best fitting of kits, this. But as I say, I can't complain. I won it. So it didn't cost me a penny. And although I found some of it a little bit challenging, it's an alright kit actually. So let's see if we can get this stick it together. Oh, the smell of styrene glue. I forgot what that smelled like. Try and not get too many thumbprints and fingerprints on it. Try and get it all matched up the best I can. It's, as I say, there's no locating tabs or anything on this, so it's pretty much just try to. God, that's well out. That's going to need a bit of fettling there. That doesn't even line up that bit. If I can get the bulk of it lined up, Yeah, that's a bit. It's a bit. Yeah. See if we can get the majority of it lined up. That's going to need some clampage on there. A lot of fettling on there. Let's see if I can get the main part of it together. Right, so that's that. Let's get the extra thin out. Should do what makes me happy. Yeah, well, I mean, I had a ball. I mean, last year the lives was a bit of an experiment, to be fair. Enjoyed making them. Met lots of people, but yeah, the whole, after all the shite that went on just before Christmas, I've kind of lost interest in it. So yeah, we shall see. I like doing this as a hobby, but when it starts becoming a chore and not being a hobby, you know, when you start doing things that makes you sad to do them rather than it making you happy, that's when it's time to walk away. So I think the Saturday Night Lives are never going to be what they were before. And I don't think, personally, because I build quite slow, I don't think I would be able to, on my own, give the same sort of entertainment you're used to. It would be a totally different kind of show. And I kind of don't know if it's A, something that somebody would want to watch, or B, worth me ploughing a lot of time into. So at the moment, I'm currently thinking of not doing Saturday Night Lives anymore. Good morning, Ken. How are you doing, mate? I'm just trying to catch up with this build that I started last year. Wonder how many builds I'll get finished this year. That'll be an interesting one. Maybe more than 3. Right, that's going to need filling. That doesn't actually go together very well at all. Be good if I can get more than 3 done. I definitely want to finish off that RZ this year. That'd be a good one to get done. Whether I will or not is a different story. I'd like to get the Z9 that I started doing as a cafe racer. I'd like to get that done. That would be good. And then there's a bike that my mate Davey asked me to build for him, and he gave me it. Oh God, it was before Christmas last year. And as usual, I'm in the finishing stages, but I haven't quite might hold that with my fingers for a bit. I haven't quite got it finished because I enjoy this part of it, the sticking it together, but I can do the painting part. I'm just not the world's biggest fan of the... Actually, if I take that, that goes together better if I don't clamp it there. The actual painting of it is not as much fun for me as it is sticking the whole thing together. Southwest saying, hello Terry, good to see you back. Yeah, probably going to be on this format for a while. I'm going to try and concentrate more on getting content on my channel this year. Whilst the lives were all fun and lots of mayhem, I didn't actually get a lot of actual video content up. I'm going to concentrate on that, concentrate on my Patreon channel, concentrate on my Facebook group, and not so much on the Saturday Night Lives thing. Because as I say, although they were fun, they're not going to be in the same format as they were before. So I take it everybody can hear me okay and everything like that. I know a lot of people that host live shows regularly have been having various problems with the Google Hangouts thing. Now, I was in an off-air hangout earlier, and I did notice on a couple of occasions I dropped out for no reason. So this is just testing to see if it's happening on the lives as well. I do know this is going to need a lot of filling anyway. Just trying to get it lined up the best I can with all the wires in. There will be some filling and fettling and all sorts required on this. And rescribing, a lot of rescribing. Yeah, so it's all good at your end, Stuart. That's good. As I say, I haven't decided yet, but at the moment, I'm kind of erring towards not bothering with the Saturday nights. And just doing either impromptu stuff like this, which is quite easy and relaxed and fun. People can pop in and pop out. And it's focusing more on what I'm doing at the bench than instead of trying to have to put on a show and entertain everybody by myself. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. I could maybe do a once a month Saturday night thing where I just do a roundup of what everybody's putting in the cave. Could maybe do that. But I can't see it being a 3-hour show just with me in it. I know I can talk for the world, but yeah. Yeah, not 3 hours worth. It's quite tiring. It takes quite a lot out of you. It's quite draining. Don't know if any of you have tried it yourself. And then you're trying to put something on and you've got all the haters and all the rest of it. And it's just like, you know what? I want to make this fun again. So yeah, remove the part that you don't like and replace it with the part that you do like. Right, try not... well, I've got a thumbprint on it anyway, so that didn't work. I think I shall just leave that for filler, actually. I'm not going to try and fill that with glue. It's a horrendous fitting kit, this. Really quite bad. Right, I'm not going to put any more clampage on that, because it tends to find if you clamp this in the middle, it splays open at the edges because of the curve. And I can't really get a right grip on the edges, so I'm just going to let that set for a bit, see where I go with that. Because it will need filler anyway, and a bit of filing and sanding. So what you guys all been building then, apart from nursing your man flu and everything? This type of show is great, very relaxed, do them when you want and feel like it. Yeah, it's just, it was an interesting experiment last year. But yeah, there's when you're trying to please a group of people, it doesn't always work. So yeah, I think I'm tired of trying to please everybody else. I'm just going to please myself now. And I concentrate on my own YouTube channel, like what I used to do before I did all the Saturday Night Live thing. And I actually do like model building videos and that. I spent quite a lot of money out in equipment to do an electronics thing, and I was kind of put off the idea. But I think I might actually carry on with it. Again, as I say, it's all kind of up in the air at the moment. I've only just got my broadband back. I can use those. Just try to see what sanders I'm wanting. That one, that one. That one, that one. What else? That one, that one. Yeah, so I've got a lot of fettling to do on this one still. Yeah, fettling. Fettling and scribing. More electronics was good. Yeah, I had big plans for it, and then I was kind of put off it. But you know what? I've kind of decided that yeah, I'll probably do it. Don't know whether to do it more. Yeah, it's trying to. I know that all the equipment that I spent money on, I'm going to get use out of. But trying to recoup back what I've spent out. Do I go against what I said originally and make it Patreon exclusive? I don't know. Or do I bring it out on Patreon a lot earlier than what I do on the YouTube? I still think it should come out live on the YouTube. But yeah, I was kind of put off. The ones that I'd done were just sort of general talk throughs. I had planned a whole load of in-depth, in detail stuff, but it's already out there on the internet, and I'm pretty much aware that it's already out there on the internet, and I was getting accused of plagiarism and all sorts of stuff. And I've sat and thought about it, and I thought, well, it's all open source, and everybody can go and see it for themselves, yes. But everybody keeps telling me that they don't know what to look for, and if they do look for it, the people that are showing you aren't really explaining why what's been done has been done. And it might be better coming from somebody in more layman's terms. So I'd thought about going down that way, and then I got put off about it again. And I think I've decided that I will do it. And just to bugger what everybody else thinks and just do what makes me happy. And I think that's what I'm going to do. You've watched a couple I've done, and they've been quite good. They weren't all that in-depth, though. They were just kind of like, you know, this is what I consider when putting stuff in. I've had a lot of requests for actually doing an A to Z on how to do the electricity stuff. But it is already out there. See, this was the dilemma I was wrestling with. It's already out there. All the information's already out there. If you want to search on YouTube, there's loads and loads and loads of videos on the electronics and how to wire 555 timers up and how to get LEDs blinking and all that. So the stuff's already there. But obviously people have looked at it and went, well, yeah, it's already there, but I don't really understand it when they're showing it. And they're not explaining it in a way that I can... There's a thing in electronics called hackability. Taking an idea and hacking about with it and making it work and adapting it. And unless you can understand how something works, you can't really hack it. You can't really adapt it to suit your needs. So if I was going right back down to the basics route, and then people actually had a bit of an understanding of what they were doing, then they can hack what they call, not as in computer hacking, they kind of hack an idea that they've got of a circuit and modify it and adapt it to suit their needs, if they can understand more about the circuit, rather than just watching a video that tells you to plug this resistor into here, that one into there, and it makes it do that, but you don't know why it does that. It just does because you've done exactly what it showed you what to do. Whereas if you've got a little bit of an understanding about why you plug that bit in there and what that bit does and why that makes the next bit do this, then you can do a wee bit of hacking and modify circuits to do things that you want to do for yourself. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking while I was off there, and I've decided that I'm going to this year I'm going to do stuff that makes me happy. Don't care what anybody else thinks. At the end of the day, they don't have to watch it. If they don't agree with what I'm doing, they're entitled to their opinion. And do what makes me happy, because at the end of the day, we're just sticking plastic together. And when it starts making you unhappy, you have to reevaluate why things are making you unhappy and remove the things that are making you unhappy. What's Stuart saying? Finished a Rebel F-18 Hornet, Airfix BF-109. Which is going to be shown in the Airfix's new workbench section. Ooh! Which is quite cool. Next few weeks, you believe. Seth was saying, yeah, I like your videos, you keep it simple. As I say, I mean, all that stuff's already there. I've actually got quite a lot of aircraft I want to do this year. I've got a lot of 148 stuff. Just got to turn my heating down briefly. I cranked my heating up just in case I got a bit too cold, because this man cave gets a bit cold and it's -4 outside, but a bit warm. Back 2 seconds. Oh, turn the thermostat down. Yeah, a lot of the electronic stuff's open source. Whether you read it in a book, whether you go to college and study it, or you know, I mean, it's like when I did my mechanics training. That's all open source as well, apart from Mercedes confidential info and Saab confidential info and all that sort of stuff. But I've watched a few of the videos and it goes, right, take this, plug that there, plug that there, plug that there. Look, it does this, and you go, oh, great, that's great. So, but how does it do what it's doing? You didn't really tell people why you're using that and what it's for, and so if I can kind of break that down into, I mean, I'm not an expert, but if I can get it to work myself and break it down into nice sort of, this is kind of what this does, and not go into too much detail about all the intricacies of why this component does something. But you know, if you put something on there and something on there and something on there, it does that, and break it down and explain it that way, and other folk can have a go. You know. Yeah, keeping it simple. I'm laughing at Demon Dancer. How you doing? A lot of time people making these videos are boring to listen to. Oh, it's nice to hear that, Murray. Nice to hear a Scots voice, a daft figure on the thing. Yeah. I think that's been the biggest one I've toyed with, is actually whether to do it or not. And I'm going to stop listening to other people and do what, yeah, and do what my viewers and that are wanting, rather than worrying about what somebody else says. Yeah. So I'm quite surprised there's so many folk up so late tonight. I try and keep it. Well, the thing is, it's the way I've got to look at it is I'm not an expert on it. So anything that I've learned, I've taught myself. I've not went to college for it. And the way you teach yourself these days, you can either read a book or you can go to college. Or as a lot of people do, watch YouTube videos and try different things and take bits for here and bits for there and all that. But try to pull it all into the one place. And as I say, it's all open source, so yeah. The plagiarism thing, yeah, kind of put me off. But then I think, well, it's not really plagiarism unless you're copying a copyrighted circuit. And that's exactly what I'm going to do this year's Southwest Modeler. I'm going to do what makes me happy and don't worry about other people. Whereas last year I was too worried about what other people thought. So don't get me wrong, there was a lot of fun times last year, but there was, yeah, a lot of down times as well. So this year I'm concentrating on me, what makes me happy. And if it happens that I don't do a Saturday Night Live and just go to like once a month and just do an update on what you guys are putting in the cave, that would probably work out better. It's definitely not going to be, it depends, because I mean, it's like, I could probably do a live with one or two friends or guests on, but then you get other people going, oh, well, you're appearing on Terry's show, yeah. So I don't know what all that kind of shite carrying on this year. So I might just knock all that on the head altogether and just do at the benches. I've definitely got to get that RZ finished. Got to. The Peterbilt is being worked on. Can I pull it out the cage and let you? I'm going to have to wet sand it anyway. But as you know, with gloss black paint, if you've got any oils on your fingers at all, I'm just trying to open this up without knocking everything down. Got any oils or anything on your fingertips, it comes off in the model. So I think I can handle this one. So the Peterbilt that I was doing, might as well let you have a little look. Right, this hasn't been cut or polished or anything. This is just an initial base coat of gloss black that's went down. This is a hood or a bonnet. Now, obviously, I scratch built the little indicator things on the wings that I'm going to have to put wiring in. So I've still got to spray all the inside because obviously this tips up. So I might have enough paint left to do it. I'm going to order some more, but it's actually come up a really nice smooth coat already in the black. There are one or two blemishes in it, which I will wet sand out before I gloss coat it. I can see quite a few actually. But it was a marathon spray job, so that's the size of that So that's the front bit. I'll see if I can squeeze that in there. That's the front of my Peterbilt truck. What I found very useful is I quite like the KP cheesy footballs, and the tubs of the KP cheesy footballs are excellent paint stands. So this is a cab. Again, there's a lot of blemishes and crap on here. This is initial base coat over it. It's not been polished or cut or anything. So yeah, I've got all that done. I've got a wee bit to do on the insides and stuff that, again, I had to wait till the outside dry before I could do that. So that's sitting on there. It's a big bugger of a truck, this. And I got, let's see if I can get hold of this bit. So this is the third bit. This is a crew cab. Again, none of this has been, you can see, you maybe can't see it catching light, the wee bits of dust and shit. That's just an initial base coat. I'm going to have to flat wet sand all that back with the, I've forgotten the name of it now. Oh, you know the stuff, micromesh, that stuff. I'm going to micromesh it all back, see what the finish is like. Obviously, there's a lot of rivets. I haven't counted them. There's quite a lot of rivets on this that I need to watch no lose of detail on. But I've got the initial black base coat down again. I've scratch built. There's actually little LED lights in there. So that's initial base coat down in there. So I'm letting that cure for quite a while. It's been on for a good week and a bit. Flat sand, wet sand, all that back. You can see the wee blemishes. See all the wee bits of dust on there. Get all them off. Might need another wee mist coat over the top before lacquering it up. So I'm quite chuffed I got that done. It took me about 2.5 hours to spray all that. So I'll see if I can squeeze that back into my cabinet just to keep the worst of the dust off. But it's all going to need wet sanded back. But for a distance, it looks all right. It looks nice and shiny. I'm going to have a go at printing my own decals for this one. I'm going to try and do a Lara Croft Tomb Raider theme on it. When I first got the truck, the decals that were supplied with, they're actually breaking up. I'm going to write a review, see if I can get another set. The truck was supposed to be white with like rainbow parting up the side, and there was wee bits of black and dirt and that under the original decals. So I decided back then I wasn't going to use them, and I thought I would try and, I was a bit ambitious. I thought I'll do a ghost flame effect and that on it, and it's like, I don't actually know how to do ghost flames. So, yeah, that's, I might, yeah, no, so I'm kind of thinking now it's going to be a Tomb Raider themed truck with Lara Croft on it. So, unless, of course, I print my decals off and that's a total disaster. But you can only try, give things a go. So, yeah, that's the biggest, that's a slow burner, but it's actually one of the ones that's getting the most views on YouTube at the moment. Is people like trucks. I'm not really a car fan. Obviously, I'm a biker, but I do like trucks. But my next video build is actually going to be a car, and it's going to be. I've probably said this before. It's going to be this car, Porsche 911 Turbo. The old whale tail, and I'm going to try and put lights in for the headlights, front spots, indicators, and try and light up the dash. It's quite funny after building 112 bikes and all that. You say, oh, I'm going to try and do this, and I'm going to try and do that, and then you look at the size of a 124th car, and you go, actually, it's pretty bloody small to do all that to. So yeah, I think I'm going to have my work cut out to get all that done, but I'm going to give it a go, and I'm going to try and give it my best attempt to have a shiny shiny paint job. I won't be 2K, and I don't do the 2K thing. But yeah, so that's going to be my next video build. That's a definite. And I will be putting LEDs into it. So that is a definite next up kind of thing. So yeah. So I've got my RZ. I did get all the parts prepped for their lacquer coat, and I didn't quite get on with finishing it off. So I need to get another session back in the spray booth, and then I can finish that video build that's lasted for about 40 years of the RZ. I might do another bike at some point as a video build, knowing now what paints and stuff that I can use now. Cafe Racer, again, that's at the same stages as the RZ. That's gloss coat. My mate's bike, the Blackbird. Again, that's a painting session, and then that would be 3 kits finished. What else have I still got in? I've got my bus that I'm playing about with in the background, but the main biggie is that Peterbilt. And I've got about 4 bits of armour. Again, they're all waiting on paint. The problem is in here is that I've got to put my extractor booth sits there, and there's my window. But I sit on top of a hill, so all the cold air and the wind howls in through that window when I've got that window open with the extractor thing out. So this room gets pretty cold pretty quick. And when it's a cold, windy, blowy night, I'm not wanting to paint, so I just keep sticking things together and not actually painting them. So I need to do masses of painting. But that was a good session, that getting that Peterbilt, even just a base coat down. What's Southwest saying? Your truck's back in the box. Why? Trucks are great fun. What's that? That's so shiny, full of window. Yeah, it'll be a nice truck when it's finished. I mean, I've got the... Just having a wee coffee break here. I have got... I've got a bit more to do on chassis, but here's the big chassis, a burly chassis. Now you might notice there's wires coming up there that I've got running along chassis. That is for, I'll see if I can get you to see it, indicators and brake lights on either side at the back of the truck. And these are going to come across up into the crew cab. I've also got, what else have I got done? Some of this is going to needs retouched up with the Ushi powders, but yeah, it needs a bit of a retouch up. So this is the front grille, done in the Ushi powders. I've got the headlights in now, with 2 LEDs on either side, and the associated wiring that comes with it. Maybe I could pop. I don't know if that carries enough voltage to pop these on. Because I've got these in series, I don't know if that would have enough voltage. Because that's only going to pop out 3 volts. So I've got the lights in this. If not, I'll get it working now because I'll put my power supply on. So I've got pretty much all the wiring figured out on my... As he bangs his head on the camera. Pretty much got all the wiring sussed out from a Peterbilt. I had a problem with the dash. I'm wanting to try and light the dash up. Used the kit's decals and they fell apart. So I'm swithering with that right to revel and say your decals are shite and they're knackered. Oh, there you go. There's one headlight on one side. I wonder if I can get them all on. Let's see. Can I get all the wires into the one thing? Just trying to think there. Right. They're really quite skinny wires, these. Don't know if I'll have enough current comes out this little tester of mine to test them both at the same time, but let's give it a bash. Oh, come on, Terry. There we go. Oh, God. I've got my old man eyes on. Right, has that got a grip? I think so. I think so. See if I can get the negative one to do the same. Yeah, so I was kind of back on the day shift with my sleeping pattern. Unfortunately, I'm back on the night shift again, so I was kind of at a loose end, and I thought, right, broadband's back up. Let's see if my live streaming's still working. So I played about for a bit. I had to reset my cameras up because I'd unplugged them. And is there enough voltage to put both of them on? There you go. So on the front of my truck, it's going to have nice big beefy headlights on my truck. And I need to record the horn, but yeah. So twin LEDs on either side there. So that's that bit done. And so that's that bit. And I also, the front bumper on this one, again, it's all been getting knocked about in a box, so I need to rebuff this up. But again, I've got the spotlights in the front bumper. They work as well. So I've got all that. As I say, I've got the ones in the cab working. Rear light indicators and that I'll need to do once I've done all my painting and all that. So I'm getting there. What's Southwest saying? I love building trucks, but just wasn't feeling it. Return to it later in the year. That's been a slow burner, that, because it's actually a 1970 something monogram kit. It's been reboxed by Revell, and it's a pig of a kit. I mean, basically it's like filing everything to the right shape, and fucking, you know, filing and sanding. It burnt out so many sanders on it. But now all that prep's out of the way. It's mostly all painting and wiring now. Building some armour. Just started a Sherman, finished a US cargo truck and a Willys Jeep. Yeah. I like doing the armour as well. As I say, the problem I've got, I like building the stuff, and then you end up with a load of stuff that's built that needs painted. And for the reasons that I mentioned, you end up no painting them. So I've got one tank. I've got a KV-122 heavy tank and primer. I've got two armoured personnel carriers and primer. I've got a Ming Merkava almost built, almost in primer. 3 motorbikes, Peterbilt truck. Yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of what I've got lying about, and then one or two things on naughty shelves and that. But I shall get there. Right, what sand? Where's the sander I was going to use? Here it is. But yeah, I've been missing you guys. Like, it's quite weird when you don't have internet. You realise how much you miss it. But then once you've been without it for a while, you actually start finding other things to do that don't involve the internet and actually involve interacting with real people. So yeah, it's quite a funny one. I've actually, sounds quite weird, I've actually quite enjoyed being without internet for the past month. Nobody hassling me, no having to listen to any politics, and just getting on and doing my own thing. And it's been absolutely marvellous. And I didn't think I would ever hear myself saying that, but yeah, I've actually enjoyed the break from it. It's recharged my batteries, and it was exactly what I was needing. So, when I do the electronics thing, I'm going to do it in stages. I'll probably do this is what you need to get if you want to follow me along kind of thing. So it'll be like talking about breadboards and resistors and bits and bobs and the little kits that you can get. And then I'll go through a stage where I explain what all the little bits do. And hopefully by then, anybody that wants to follow along with it and have a little experiment themselves will have the necessary bits and bobs to follow along. And we can start doing little experiments and simple lighting circuits and stuff like that that you can incorporate into your models. And once you get the hang of it, it really isn't that difficult. The most difficult part of the electricity, as I like to call it, is actually modifying the kit to accept it and running the wires and stuff like that. And that's something you learn as you go along. I'm still figuring out best ways to do it. And the likes of this plane, where you would normally build the fuselage together and then your engine pods and then put your wings on, I'm having to build it in reverse because I'm running wiring from the outside of the wingtips right into the middle. So it makes your build order a little bit different. But once you've figured out your plan of action, it's not difficult. It really isn't difficult. If you can wire up a 12-volt bulb to go on and off, you'll have no problem with any of the electronic stuff. There's just a few extra wee bits and bobs and a little bit of soldering. And it's not quite as scary as it first sounds. But you do have to be wary when you're putting electricity into your kit. The electronic parts, some of them can get hot, especially if you use the wrong components, and hot stuff inside plastic's not a good idea, which is why I tend to avoid running things on 12 volts. Because most LEDs in that run on 3 volts maximum. And when you're running things on 3 volts and you're supplying them with 12, you've got 9 volts to get rid of. And the way you get rid of the 9 volts is you use different resistors. But the way the resistors get rid of the excess electricity, they give off heat. So you want to do your wiring in such a way that you're using up most of the electricity and not having to use resistors to take away the extra, thus not putting so much heat in there, which is why I tend to run at 6 and 9 volts. But that's all stuff I'll explain when I get round to it. So yeah, I was really looking forward to doing it. Then I got put off doing it, and now I'm really looking forward to doing it again. So I'm just going to go ahead with it at some point. I think what I'll possibly do is, it's not going to be Patreon exclusive, but it will come out on my Patreon channel. 2 or 3 weeks before it comes out in public. So that way, those that are currently my Patreons will get a little bit of a sneak preview and a bit of a heads up. Still trying to push for my 1,000 subs, because there's quite a few features you can get in your channel when you actually do get 1,000 subs. Getting there, slowly but surely, but not quite there yet. I think it'll be a lot harder if I do stop doing the Saturday Night Lives, but if I can get some more content up my channel, that might bump it up anyway. We'll see how it goes. So I'm trying to figure out what builds I would like to do this year. Not so much what I like to do. I mean, if I'm off camera, I can grab anything out of the stash and just build it, paint it, stick it together, take some photos and do a reveal, let you guys see what I built. I'm thinking about planned video builds. I've got the same fire engine as Colin. We were going to do a buddy build. I don't think that's going ahead now. He's doing his own thing on that, so I'm not going to bother with that. There was supposed to be a Star Trek group build, which I think is now over on Colin's channel, because I think that was Vincent and Colin's idea. So yeah, I have got some Star Trek stuff to build, but am I going to film it? Nah. So that's shelved. I've got the Taliery Police Range Rover that I maybe light up. I don't know. What would you like to see in the chat? as far as a video build goes. My next one's going to be that Porsche, and I'm going to light it up. I've got some 148th aircraft, but I'm not really an aircraft buff, so I might get a few of those under my belt before I film one. I have got myself a 148th Airfix Stuka, all the Edward stuff to do. I might do a video build on that. What have I got video builds on my channel so far? I've got a bike, I've got a tank, and I've got not so much a video build, but just a video diary on the Peterbilt. What sort of stuff would you like to see me doing? I'm trying to think of what I've got there. Quite a bit, actually. I've got my 7 class lifeboat. I've got my T2 Hunter Killer thing that I want to try and put servo motors in. I've got same Sambas calling, but what else have I got? I've got Apollo Saturn 5. Loads of bikes. Yeah, I've got quite a few things there. Don't know what to do for the next video build after my Porsche. Obviously, I need to try and get my bike one finished first, and I'm trying to time the Porsche one so that it starts round about the same time as I've got some of my electricity ones up. But I'm not going to put a schedule on it because basically this year I want to try and get out more, so I'm not going to be stuck at my bench all the time. So we'll see how we get on with that. Obviously, some of you guys are YouTubers. Anything, have you guys worked out, planned on what your builds are this year, or what you're going to video, or? Just giving this a bit of a clean up. I think I've pretty much got the underneath done. I'll need to put a wee bit of primer on there to see if I need to put any more filler on it. That's pretty much looking okay. Yeah, so I'm on a night shift. It's pretty weird now. As most of you guys know, I suffer with depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. When I've not had my broadband, it was basically I would get up for a few hours, get bored, go back to my bed, get up for a few hours, get bored, go back to bed. Now I've got my broadband back, I might be at the bench a bit more. So, but I've been really, it's been refreshing, but I've been quite bored. Beyond saying, I have fun, you're heading for bed. Yeah, you're an hour ahead, aren't you? So it's about 20 past 2 in the morning. So yeah, catch you later, Bjorn. Southwest saying, hoping to build a new modelling cave. Oh, a new man cave. Ooh. I still need to tidy mine up. I've been quite good. I've actually done some dishes. Oh my God, you might say. And I haven't been ordering the odd one, yeah, but I haven't been ordering takeaways. So I've actually been cooking. So yeah, that's been fun. A wee bit of cooking in that. No poison myself yet, so not quite forgotten how to do it. New man cave. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I could do with this, but it's getting the mojo. Try to get my mojo back. I say this is the first time I've touched any plastic at all since Christmas, apart from spraying my Peterbilt. So what's your guys' thoughts on a Saturday night? I mean, if you compare the original format where there was a whole crew of us on and we were all goofing off and showing off what we were doing, I don't think it would work with just me. So thoughts on the back of a postcard, what you would think, because I don't think people are going to tune in just to see a little old me on a Saturday night. And thinking to myself, actually, a Saturday night is when most people actually go out, which is what I should be doing. and haven't been doing. So, go out and meet real people. Maybe get a lumber. Chance will be a fling thing. Have a bit of a giggle with real people. We'll see. See how it goes. See what this year brings. Certainly going to get out more on my motorbike. I mean, I'm lucky if I've done about 1,000 miles last year on my motorbike, which is pretty shocking, considering in the first year that I got my bike, I did 9,000 miles on it. So yeah, going for 9,000 miles to lucky if I've done 1,000 miles is a bit bad. And I do like the whole biker sort of events and going out for the runs on a Sunday and stuff like that. It's really quite good fun. Right. That's definitely going to need a little bit more rescribing up there. I'm going to have to put some paint over to see what that's like. This is the worst bit, the join between the two engine halves. It's pretty bad, and there's lots of little round wee panels and everything. And try to rescribe straight lines. Yeah, I'm finding that pretty straightforward. Trying to rescribe circles. Yeah. Suggestions on the back of a postcard on how to do that best, please. Because yeah. Rescribing circles, not the easiest thing I've ever had to do. My cup of coffee's cold now. That's it, finished. Right, what am I looking for? I am looking for a sender. Right, try and get these cleaned up a bit. So I've tried it in a new filler. I have been using, normally I would use sprue goo and that on a motorbike, but when you've got lots of wee intricate wee rivets and panel lines and stuff like that, you don't really want to use sprue goo because that will destroy all that detail. So I've been using Mr. Primer Surfacer 1000, which is not bad for filling in small bits. And then I got myself, thought I would try it, Mr. Hobby, Mr. Dissolved Putty. And I'm quite surprised at how well this stuff fills, actually, and it's scribable. So I'm giving that a go. So I've got some of that Mr. Putty stuff on this big white broad line down the middle here is a mixture of the surfacer and the dissolved putty in various layers. So I've now just got to try and clean it up a bit in between all the bits that need scribed so that I don't have to scribe too much. I think the mistake I made with this one is I lined it up in the bottom perfectly. I should have paid more attention in lining it up in the top perfectly, as the bottom doesn't have so much detail to lose. So certainly when I put this side together, I'm going to concentrate on getting the top lined up and the bottom's easier to mould and scribe into shape. Where is your cave now, southwest then? Is it just like a corner of a living room, or have you got a spare bedroom? Or it's great for the guys that can have a dedicated like shed or room. I'm quite lucky because I live alone. This was my daughter's bedroom, and she's away with some muppet down near Newcastle at the moment. Living with him, so her bedroom has now turned into my man cave, which is really quite good because I can lay a model down. I know when I was younger, it was like a tea tray in the corner of the living room, and you had to pack it all away at the end of the day, and then it's the effort of pulling it all back out again. Whereas when you've got a dedicated little man cave spot, you can leave stuff out. Unless, of course, you've got pets, in which case you can't, because then the pets, that's why I don't do pets. Brought up with cats and dogs, but yeah, cat hairs, dog hairs, yeah, I've got a big enough problem with dust, especially when I start doing shiny. So this is going to be the hardest bit. So I'm going to get this sanded back and I'll put a wee, I'll just brush some Steinores primer on it and then sand it back. What's Southwest saying? Maybe a Saturday show once a month to review the cave would work, but every Saturday might be hard. Yeah, I think every Saturday would be too much on me, to be quite fair. Especially if it's just on my lonesome. The issue with that is if I stop, not like you can pick a slot or anything, because I mean there's like so many YouTubers out there. If somebody else wants to do a Saturday Night Live show, they can do a Saturday Night Live show. It just depends. You just tune into whatever one you want to watch, you know, at the end of the day. Is losing a spot, but you know what? You're welcome to it. And if I do a once a month Saturday Night Live cave review and there's somebody else on a Saturday night, tough. You know, people can either tune in or they don't tune in. Yeah, I think once a month. I was thinking about that. Just do it once a month, just for a cave review. And then that way it's sort of, I might have actually done something as well, so I'll have something to talk about for a little bit. Because I'm a notoriously slow builder. I can feel that bump. That's going to need quite a bit of building up. Maybe I should go in with a slightly rougher sander. Oh, shit, you daft bugger. How you doing, mate? About to go to bed, but now have to watch Smoo. You don't have to watch, actually. I'm not doing anything really exciting. I'm just sanding down filler and rescribing and gluing wing halves together and stuff. I thought I'd get back on with this Frogfoot, which I started just before Christmas and that. I think it was December I started. I can't even remember now. Because Mark over at Spruce Surgery's got that Russian build thing on. I don't even know if I would finish this in time, to be fair. I'll give it a go. I'll keep pottering on with it. Yeah, just going to lose all that scribe detail there. I'm going to have to rescribe that. This is going to be a bit of a pain in the buttocks, this one. To try and get this smooth. I will need to learn to scribe semicircles. Oh, you've just got a corner in your living room at the moment, but you're running out of room as you gather more paints and yeah, a wee corner. Well, this is a full spare bedroom, and it's not the tidiest of places, and I struggle for room to put things, especially when you start building something and you put it on the tabletop and you know what to put it back in the box. Because I've done that before. I've taken a kit, started building it, put it back in the box, and then you open the box and another box has been on top of it and it's crushed it. Yeah. I tend to have more than one build on the go at the same time as well, which you end up rapidly running out of space. Because if you're wanting to be doing something and then something else is drying or whatever, I like to be keeping building something. Yeah, corner of the living room's not the best. So what's your plans for the man cave then? Where are you going to relocate to give yourself some more room? Yeah, this is just going to be a bit of fun, this. Yeah, I'll have to rescribe that semicircle on there. New cave will be 7 meters by 8 meters. Let me guess. There may well be a wooden extra thing getting added to the garden. That sort of size, 7 by 8. That sounds more like a shed, a proper cave getting made up, which is cool if you can get that done. I think, see, it's quite awkward because of the house that I've got where it is. all my front garden's not level like a lot of the other ones. It's all sort of on a hill. Because I was wanting to actually make a bike cave for my bike. But that's not going to happen either. Because I've not got a single level bit of ground outside my house. Oh, there's rivets run up there as well. Right, okay. So, yeah, I'm going to have quite a bit of re-riveting, and this is going to be a bit of a ball ache, I think. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a ball ache. Trying to get this smoothed off with so much detail in there. Oh, it's going to get building. Oh, so you've actually got a workshop. You lucky man. I take it you can't just use your workshop then. On the side of your workshop. Yeah. I'd be worried about where I live. It's not too bad, but if people found out that you had a workshop with something of value inside it, that they would try and break into it. That's another thing with having external stuff. You know, the worry that people who want what you've got might try and break in and obtain it. There's always a worry. I'll not know until I get black paint on that how much further I've got to go with that bit. This is a really awkward bloody bit, this. I've already rescribed it several times just so I can see where the lines are, but there's lots of little rivets in there. Found a good way of getting some of these wee rivets done is if I leave enough an indent in there, just going with a tiny, tiny little drill and just doing them individually. I have got a riveting tool, but it's the trumpeter one. It's all right. But it's no good for some of these details. Workshop's 13/7. Ah, but being a builder, it's just too dusty. Ah, right, so you're a builder. Right, I've got you. Oh, well, so it's no bother making yourself a wee man cave then. There is a bit out the front of the house that I could kind of level off, but I think I would be aiming that more at my bike than for models. Yeah, this is going to be a proper little pain, this. It's just so far out of line. It's not a very good fitting kit at all. That's the first run of filler on it. So I'll put some primer over it, see what I've got, see what needs rescribed, and go again, I think. I think it's going to be a rinse and repeat job with this one. Most definitely. Your workshop's got an alarm in it, so it's a proper... Right, The thing is, nowadays there's so many places with alarms and that go off and people just walk past and go, oh, the bloody alarm's going off again. Yeah. Let's see if I can get this kind of evened up. Where's me? It was there somewhere. Ah, there it is. The weathering one. I need to get myself some more sanders. They're all kind of burning themselves out over time. If I build it that big, the new cave and workshop will be bigger than the house the way it should be. Oh, you've got to get your priorities right as a man, eh? You know, as long as you you've got this massive workshop and then a tiny wee cabin with a bed, a sink, a cooker in it. Oh, John Paul's in. How you doing, mate? I'm just. I've been. Don't think. I had a wee problem earlier where the feed was dropping for no apparent reason, but it seems to be quite stable at the moment. Oh, didn't really need that sander. It seems to be quite stable at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. Let's see. That's not looking too bad. It's going to need more filling. Right, let's get some paint out of the top of it, let it dry, sand it back, see what I've got. Now, I did have my little palette somewhere, but I can't remember where. Oh, there it is. Right, I have that. I've got a wee bit of Steiny in a bottle. Excuse me. You're up late, John. Mind you, what's it? Oh, it's only 1:30 in the morning. An hour and a half. Good though, back at the bench. Wasn't looking forward to doing that. I'll paint it over and see what needs rescribed and a bit more filling on it. I'll come back to it. What brush will I use? I'll just use one of the wee crap Citadel layer brushes, that'll do it. That shall do it. Actually, yeah, I'll need some clean water in this. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm just putting some clean water in my pot. There we go. Nice fresh clean water. Smart airbrush cleaning stuff. Get that up out the way as well. Lovely. Oh, good Terry, you've just got fucking water on the end of you knob. Right. Yeah. Might actually highlight some of those lines. Although there's no need because there's got a primer goes over it. 8:35 p.m. where you are just now. It's just hit. Yeah, 1:37 a.m. here. So that's me just got my broadband up and running after about a month away, John Paul. So yeah. Fun and games. They're still playing with the speeds. It's not quite as fast as what I had before, but it'll take them a wee while to suss it out, I suppose. Let's get a little bit of that in there. A bit of that in there. Right, let's see what still needs tidied up then. It's just like a guide coat. Let's see what black remains once you run a light sand over it to see what still needs filled and what doesn't. What needs rescribed and what doesn't. Easiest way of doing it. About 7 hours of difference. Where is it you're again, John Paul? Is it Canada or America you're in? I'm trying to remember now. Not long since. You wouldn't think I'd been offline a month. It's quite funny. A month away. It's done me good though. Nice wee break. What is this shit on the end of that brush? Obviously some shit in that paint. That's why I've decanted it. Stick a wee guide coat on it. Helps if I'm on camera and you can see what I'm doing. It's just going to get sanded back down again, which is why I'm not airbrushing it on. It's just so I can see if what needs rescribed, what needs filled, what's level, what's not. Although there does appear to be a little bit of shite on there. Shite for sore eyes, Miss Moneypenny. I think that's already been rescribed. I'll just give it a wee. So let me see whether it's going in level or it's not. As I say, just slapping it on with a brush because it's all going to get sanded back off again anyway. Not really central with my camera, am I? Yeah, round about there. Out of practice. Yeah, so John, I don't know how long you've been watching, but I'm thinking about kind of doing away with the Saturday Night Lives and maybe just doing a once a month update on the cave builds and stuff like that. I just wondered what your thoughts were on it. If you had an opinion at all. Because I don't think I could produce anything on a Saturday night that would be remotely interesting with just myself on it. At the end of the day, it's got to be a balance between what you guys like watching and me having a bit of a life outside of modelling. So we'll see what the feedback on it is. Anybody tuning into this that isn't actually watching it live, once the video is finished, once the live stream has finished, and it's sitting there on the YouTubes and you're maybe watching it back whilst you're at the bench at a later date, if you do have any input, feel free to stick it in the comment section down the bottom. What your thoughts are. At the moment, with everything that went on last year, the Saturday nights, if they were going ahead at all, it would just be myself solo. And I just know it would be a different format, and I don't know if it would be something that anybody wanted to watch every Saturday. So rather than doing every Saturday, maybe just doing once a month or Saturday night kind of update type thing. Where we review everybody's work that's a member of the cave. And catch up on what I've been doing, if anything. But I can't really see there being a need or me being able to have enough content to do it on a weekly basis. That's kind of where I'm at. a lot of people tuned in on a Saturday night for the whole goofing off aspect. Obviously, that'll not be there now. So, yeah, just interested in your guys' thoughts. Obviously, all I ever see is sort of the only way I have any way of judging how well something's doing is by figures of how many people are tuning in every week and stuff like that. But I very rarely actually get any feedback on what people like or prefer. And unless you guys talk to me, I don't know. And all I'm left with is my own decisions. But at the moment, you think it's a good idea. You haven't went live in a while as well. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I do like the live aspect. I like this aspect of the live. I like the at the bench, making things, and chatting to people whilst I'm making things. But a lot of people were tuning in a Saturday night for a giggle because I would be on with a crew, and they liked that, and they might not like it if it's just me it's on. And there's no point in me putting on something if it's not what people are wanting to watch. So I'm just judging, trying to get a bit of feedback because, as I say, I very rarely get feedback on. Usually, the only time I get feedback is when the haters start hating. But yeah, I don't really care about them anyway. But yeah, the only feedback I ever get, if I'm getting feedback, is usually when there's negative feedback. If I very rarely get any positive feedback about, yeah, that's all right. So it's quite hard to judge sometimes if something's working or not. You don't have the timely days. You're off. You've got your son there. It's not so much not having the time. I need to try and get out more. I know it was a running joke. I don't get out much, and I actually don't get out much. But I could be getting out more. But if I'm committing myself to Saturday night shows and things like that, which is for most people at the end of their working week, when they go and do most of their social events and stuff, I'm limiting when I can actually get out socialising. So yeah, it's a weird one. It's one of those. Somebody mentioned to me just recently, actually, model making is quite a lonely hobby. So for lonely people on a Saturday night, then me doing a Saturday night live show is something for them to watch, I suppose. But then it's not really very healthy for me. So yeah, I suppose I'm getting a bit selfish. I'm thinking, yeah, I need to start doing stuff for me. We'll see what happens. For the past 2 days, I've been thinking along the lines of just knocking all the Saturday night live things on the head, and that's it. I'm done. And just doing things like this, impromptu lives at the bench. It's kind of where my mind's at the moment. Yeah, it's definitely looking pretty ugly along there. Losing a lot of detail. Yeah, it'll need a bit of work. I'll let that dry for a bit and then I'll sand it back out again and see what's left lying. That's going to need a lot of filling along there still. Right. Let's see how my gluing ended up. Let's clean my brush. Yeah, it's a lot of it is time. I mean, I have got the time because I'm not working, obviously, due to my health, but I just don't want to waste my time if it's not what folk are wanting. But I definitely know that I need to concentrate on my actual content that I'm uploading rather than the live shows. Because whilst the live shows are all good and fun, and a bit of a crack on a Saturday night, it's not really putting any content up on the channel, like video builds or anything like that. Right. So what's everybody else up to? There's quite a few in the night, actually. It's quite good. Let's see how my gluing's done. I do know I'll have some filling to do in this. Because it fits where it touches. And that's not in very many places. Right, a little bit of rubbing back there. That's going to need filling and rescribing in there, same as the other side. Right, a little bit of jab. A wee bits of glue in that off. And my fingerprint. Got to put a fingerprint in the model though, or it's not a proper model, eh? That's the whole thing with extra thin. It just wicks away everywhere that you didn't think it's going to be. Actually, it doesn't look too bad on edge, that. Using the bigger one. Goopy glue is still a bit stringy. Excuse me. So have any of you guys got any builds planned this year that you've been looking forward to? I think this year I'm more about trying to get stuff finished that I've started, to be quite honest. Apart from obviously I'm going to be starting that Porsche build at some point. Which will be a new build, a new video build. Right, so that edge seems to fit not too bad. Some of the glue's not quite set yet. Let's get the worst of it off. So for anybody tuning in and wondering what's going on, I'm just carrying on with a Actually, a kit I won off an E-Models Monday night live stream. It is. I'll actually show you what kit it is. In case you've not been following along. It's not a video build series as such. It's just I've did a live at Christmas where I updated you where I was. It is. Oh, come out. You will comply. This box has got a good grip for some reason. What is making it stick out? There we go. So yeah, it's a Czech company. Kobe Zavody Prostyov. The Russian SU-25K, commonly known as the Frogfoot, which is the Russian version of the A-10 bomber. And I'm going to be doing mine in the North Korean. Just try to catch it so it's not whiting out in the camera. The North Korean colours. In fact, I'll show you better on instructions. So in the box are other parts and electricity. I'm going to be putting nav lights in it. And it's this kit. Okay. And the colour scheme I'm going to be doing it in is that one, North Korean. So I just fancy it. It looks kind of cool. I like the colours of it. So that's what I'm working on. Because I'm putting nav lights in it, I'm working from the wingtips back. So I've got a landing light, scratch built and put in myself. Nav light on the end. That's the wires coming through the engine. So it's not a particularly well fitting kit. So I'm at that wing's kind of built up, but I'm doing all the filling and sanding on it. And this one has not long been stuck together. Again, I've got the nav light and that in it. It's not long been glued together, and I'm just tidying it up. So if you're on YouTube watching this, but you're not on the main YouTube page itself, if you come into the main YouTube page itself, you can actually go into the live chat and chat away with me, keep me company at the bench. My sleeping pattern's a bit back to front. It's what I call the night shift. So I've kind of been asleep in the afternoon and I've woke up. So I just thought I've been without broadband for the past month. So I haven't been able to do any live streams or anything. So I'm just testing out my new broadband. So don't be shy. If you're sitting in there, do feel free to come into the chat. Tend to at this time, obviously, most of the UK audience are in bed because it's a school night and they have got work in the morning. We tend to get our American, Canadian, Australian viewers and all that popping in at some point. But of course, with me not being on for a month, I might be going, oh, is he still alive? Is he still here? Let's see if I can get this kind of even. Where's the... Right. Make life a bit easier when I go to glue this onto the engine cowlings. Yeah, it'll be nice when this is finished, I think. It just needs a little bit of fettling. It's not a nice fit like your Tamiya stuff and all that. It's a bit rough and ready around the edges, but I think it's probably the only company at the moment that's making the Frogfoot. If I'm not an aircraft expert, but I think it's about the only company making the SU-25 Frogfoot. It's not a bad kit. It just needs a little bit of work. So that all looks reasonably good. That's all. Let's make sure this is all nice and level. Try to get all the crooks and nannies. Let's get into that a little bit in there. There's no actual, when you put these parts together, you've got to do it by eye. A lot of the ones you get the pin and hole sort of arrangement where you locate it onto those and it puts it in the exact same, the right place. This one's not, it's a stick it together and hope for the best kind of arrangement. Now, actually, where is my scriber? It was somewhere about there. It is. That needs a bit of a wee bit of an assistance there, just so that I know that line's there. Along the root of the wing there, or the front leading edge. It wasn't quite in line when they found this quite a lot with this kit. The two halves of the body will go together nicely. But where they have got the scribed panel lines on one side and the scribed panel lines on the other side, they don't quite match up. They're a couple of mil out on either side, so it's needing a bit of a wee bit of fettling. But it is what it is. It is what it is, I'm sure. Bill Drap. Mr. Hornsey, how are you doing? Welcome back to Civilization. Yeah. I actually quite enjoyed not having the internet. I didn't have to see any crap that usually gets thrown about. So on that point, it was quite refreshing. I actually kind of keep up to date with what everybody's up to, but yeah, it was actually quite refreshing not having to worry about what everybody else was up to. So how you doing, Mr. Hornsey? You been keeping busy? For those that don't know, Bill Drap Models is Mike Hornsey, one of the regulars to the channel. Yeah, I think some of this glue is still not quite went off yet. And it's went a bit stringy here and there. That'll be the goopy glue that will be coming out. Getting there though, it's not looking too bad. What's this? You've got a crap filter on your internet. You're doing good. Just ordered a massive B24. Oh, you dafty. You've got the room for it though, haven't you? You've got a proper dedicated workshop for doing all your stuff. So yeah, a B24 will be. But still some size of kit though, Mike. You're no feared, as my ma would say. Oh, you're no feared doing that. Aye, no, there's no feared. Yeah. Oh, it'd be great fun building something like that. I would have absolutely nowhere to put it, apart from hang it from the ceiling, I suppose, like most other people would do. But that's a big old kit. So which B24 have you went for? What make? of kit have you went for? Where's my wee? I've got a wee green one. Ah, there he is. Just ordered. So is a B24, is that? I'm just trying to think what make that would be. Yeah, I wonder how long it'll take me to finish it. If I keep cracking on at this, he said cracking on. If I can keep my mojo up and keep on with this, I could maybe get this done by the end of February, maybe. I'll see how I go. Once I get all the fettling done and get the paint on it, I suppose that's it. Just about done, really, isn't it? Yeah. I've got all the wiring sorted out, I think. So it's just the execution and fitting of it all. Hobby Boss 132. Oh, it's a Liberator. Oh, I like the look of that, actually, the Liberator. It's a nice plane. So, no fear, already built the B-17. Yeah. Big old beasties. Iconic aircraft of their time. Yeah, I like the look of the Liberator, actually. It looks a nice kit. As I say, I wouldn't mind doing something like that myself, but yeah, it's a big old piece of kit. That's going to need rescribed as well. Working on the TACOM twin what was that? 128mm AA gun right now. What's that? 1/35 scale. Twin 128mm. Yeah, okay. That'd be quite a big anti-aircraft gun, that. Because was it no 88s it used to use for anti-aircraft guns, the Germans? I have no knowledge on it, but yeah, the flak cannons of that, were they no 88s? I'm trying to think now. Yeah, 1/35 scale. So it was 128mm. If I'm right in thinking that the 88s were what they used for the flak cannons, 128 would be quite a big, yeah. Need to get some pictures of that up in the cave, mate. I like seeing all the different. Tell you how I increase my knowledge as well, seeing what everybody's building. Sounds an interesting wee kit. So you're putting that in a dio scene, about a foot long. Putting that in a dio, mate, are you? You're doing a gun crew and everything with it. Let's see if I can. Get this looking like it's actually part of the same plane. Where's my kniff? That's going to need a bit more fettling than just that. There we go. And with the old knife, that'll be that sorted. Get all my gluey fingerprints and stuff off the leading edges of the wings. I don't think I want to leave those there. Yeah, building the top of the Berlin Zoo Tower for the Guns and Crew. Oh, so you got actual photos and everything then, aye. So it was on top of the Berlin Zoo. Cool. I know you like to do a lot of scratch building, Mr. Hornsey, so I take it it's predominantly a kit that you can just buy off the shelf and you're going to be putting your usual tweaks to it, I would assume. Yeah, I will at some stage build myself a diorama. I'm still thinking of doing it with that Sherman tank that I've got in the M26 recovery vehicle. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I did have an idea in my head of what I wanted to do, and then I seen somebody else that had done exactly the same idea, so I thought, right, okay, I can't do that one. So yeah, try to figure out a scene. So what's maybe some electricity? You're doing your research. Yeah, you just visit your wife once in a while. You've probably got her on roller skates, and she whizzes through to your man cave with like, you know, with a tray with the tea and refreshments on and everything. And then he woke up. Yeah. This almost looks like these were two wings at halves that were supposed to be together in the first place. It's actually went together a bit better than I thought it would. The other set were a pain in the proverbial backside. And I have to do a bit of rescribing on there. That's where these soft foam sanders are great for doing contours and everything. You can just some of what's coming away there is the goopy goo that I used earlier. It will comply. You're dreaming. John's still here. Still in contact with John, yeah. Aye. Yeah, 3 Sheets is well and truly alive. He's away getting a new leg done or something today. Yeah, he's just keeping himself quiet. As you may have noticed with certain events that happen around about Christmas time, everybody's just kind of taking some time out to themselves. So yeah, he's still about. He's trying to get his mojo up and back to the bench, which is a problem I suffer with myself, trying to keep my mojo up. But yeah, he's still about us, John. As I say, I've pretty much been out the loop for the past month anyway, because I've not had broadband, because normally you could just fire up a hangout and see exactly how everybody's doing and what everybody's up to. But I've managed to keep up a little bit using the data on my phone, but it's not quite been the same. Can't stream a hangout or anything for a phone, so it's kind of been like, yeah, a month without any hangouts. So he's not really heard much for myself, for sure, anyway. I caught up with him earlier this evening. Fall back and regroup? No, it's past that, mate. It's past that, unfortunately. Everybody's going their own separate ways. Is what is happening. I'm decided to concentrate on what makes me happy and concentrate on my own channel. And that's, yeah. Not doing the group thing anymore. It's just, yeah, it's just, it takes the fun out of it. When your hobby starts becoming a chore, it's time to walk away from that side of things. So hopefully everything's all right at your side. This is my first time live. Yeah, first time live in over a month. It's quite nice actually when folk popping in. Familiar old faces, I haven't forgotten about me. It's quite nice. I think I'll be doing probably more of this sort of thing moving forward rather than the Saturday Night Lives. As I say, anybody's got any comments on what to think about Saturday Night Lives and that, because moving forward, if they were to continue, it would just be myself with an occasional guest or friend, and not on the same format as they were before. So personally, I don't think that's what people want to see. And it might just end up a once a month show with a roundup of the work that people are putting in on the in the cave. Because I'm going to try and get a more active social life this year. Try. I've actually got an appointment with the social work department on Thursday to try and get some help for myself. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I know that sitting in my bedroom, although this is therapeutic, there has to be more to my life than just sitting sticking plastic together. So I need to concentrate on me this year. And obviously, if I'm going to try and get out socialising more, the weekend is normally when, especially with the motorbikes and stuff, it's when there's nice group runs on when the better weather comes. I mean, obviously not when it's frosty and snowing, but I missed a lot of group runs last year and a lot of events that I could have went to that I shied away from because I wasn't quite feeling like it at the time. And I need to get back into getting out there again. As I say, sitting in my bedroom doing modelling is nice and therapeutic, but when it becomes your life, when it becomes that is all that you're doing with yourself, it's not a healthy thing. So yeah. But yeah, this is more casual. I like this. I don't have to perform. It's just me fiddling about making models at the bench whilst other probably on in the background whilst you guys are doing stuff at the bench as well. If you feel like chatting, you can type something in. If you don't feel like chatting and you're just modelling, then you can listen to me dribbling on in the background. It doesn't look too bad. I thought that was going to be a bit worse than what it was. But yeah, what's quite funny is I've started doing dishes now and again. Now, the only problem with doing dishes now, this is what I found, I'm eating more than what I was before. When you can't be bothered doing dishes and you're just ordering in takeaways, which can be quite expensive actually. You're only eating that one meal a day, whereas when you're actually decided to do your dishes and stuff, which might sound a bit random for normal people, but you know, when you're struggling to get out of your bed sometimes, it's a big achievement for me getting back to cooking and going out and doing some shopping and stuff. So baby steps. wee baby steps. We'll get there. Hopefully that rescribing works. This tool isn't quite actually as wide as I need it to be with some of this, so I'm having to give it a bit of a wiggle. We shall see how that looks once I get some paint on it. Actually getting quite warm in here tonight. Once you get all the lighting and everything on, because I run quite a lot of lighting in here when I'm filming, or you wouldn't see anything. Yeah, I don't know how long I'll be on for. I mean, I'm probably going to wait most of the night, but I'll see how I get on with this. I might get bored. It's my first sort of time back at the bench in a good wee while. Lovely. It probably looks all right once I get a wee bit of paint on it, but at the moment I thought it was a bit of roughness there in this leading edge that I need to get rid of. Because I don't think that's supposed to be there. Yeah, it's not got it on that side. Which means I'll need to rescribe this bit. Yeah, so it's really quite interesting nowadays. I used to think like that, you know, when I didn't have internet, it's like, oh, my life's come to an end. I've not got any internet. It was actually quite refreshing. It was quite nice. It was nice and quiet. Right, this is going to be a tricky bit. That's going to need, if I remember rightly, I had to rescribe and re-rivet this on the other side. It's not the best fitting of kits I've ever seen. Yeah, that'll all need rescribed and re-riveted up there. What's southwest? What's right? Mike's going to grab a beer. Yeah, try to stay off the drink as well. All right, enjoy your beer. And Southwest saying, okay, Terry, lunchtime here. Good to see you back. Catch you next time. Okay, mate, thanks for popping in. As I say, I don't know how long I'll be on. I might be on just for a wee while. It was just a test. Some people have been having issues. I've heard rumours that Google are dropping support for the standard Hangouts, and they're possibly going to be going on to some sort of subscription-based thing. Now, if that's true, it would be interesting to know whether, if it was the people streaming that had to pay the subscription, in which case, if it was a reasonable sub, then as a YouTuber, yeah, it would be worth paying. Or are they going to go down the line of viewers would have to subscribe as well to watch it, in which case I don't think it would be viable, and in which case, where do you go from there if you've got if you're used to live streaming? So a lot of people have been, Google's always updating stuff, so a lot of people have had problems with the feed's dropping out and stuff. I had it earlier in a off-air hangout. So I was just checking it. I had to reset up all my cameras and everything. Just checking that they were working. And seeing if there was any glitches in the matrix, so to speak. Catch you later, Southwest. Thanks for popping in. Right, I've got re-riveting and re-scribing on this side. Definitely. Possibly a bit of filling as well. Same as the other one. Round about where the nav light was. Yeah, definitely re-scribing, filling, all that nonsense. Going to have to happen. How long have I been on? A couple of hours. Probably going to have to put some filler up the edge of this as well as re-scribing it. I think that's the worst of it off. Some of the glue's still a little bit soft. Yeah, definitely some filling needed up there. So yeah, as I say, just a test, a wee quick at the bench thing. I'll probably go off shortly. Now I know it's working. It might be. I'm going to try and do some proper filming for the channel. At some point in the next week or so. And I'll carry on with these as well. Is it a nice kit to build? Nah. As I say, kit never cost me nothing, so I won it, so it was free. It's a bit of a sow's ear, but it'd be nice to try and make a decent job of it. But no, it's not. It's not a great kit. I'm being perfectly honest with you. But yeah, I shall make it into something that hopefully it looks all right. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some Mr. Surfacer and where's my Duff brush of Duff painting off stuff, the one that I use for lacquers. There we go. I'll get out of there. Lacquer cleaner. Yeah. No, it doesn't fit very well. It needs a lot of re-scribing, re-riveting, a lot of filling, but it should turn out into a decent kit. It's certainly not a pour the glue into the box and shake it and it falls out like a Tamiya kit. But then that presents a little bit more of a challenge than a Tamiya kit, doesn't it? Right, so let's get some of this baby out. Right, let's adjust. Where is my... Always remember to wipe the top of this, because this is where you get all the sticky guns building up. I do like this Mr. Surfacer stuff. Let's give that a little bit of a mix up. How am I going to display it? Wheels down, mate. That's why I've scratch built landing lights and all that for the wings. So it's going to be just landed. is the idea. Will I make a dial for it? No. Will I make a base for it? Maybe. For displaying aircraft? Might do, because I've got a few 148th aircraft to do. But yeah, I've scratch built landing lights and that into the wings. Nav lights in the end of the wings, nav light in the end of the rudder. I've still got to do the landing light on the on the front landing gear. But yeah, so it's going to be a plane that has just touched down as the idea. I'm just putting some Mr. Surfacer along the wing edges here to dry overnight. Just neaten it up a bit. I'm also going to have to do a bit of rescribing as well, but it's not bad. It's the only company that, as far as I'm aware, makes a SU-25 Frogfoot. So whether it's a good kit or not, it's the only buggers that are making it. So yeah, let's just dab some in there. And along the edge of there. Along there, trying not to get my fingers in the stuff that I've already put on. Hopefully overnight that'll cure and give me something to sand down and rescribe. Because it's a bit of a pig in a poke. And I might need more than one application of this. But we shall see when we get there. Is that edge done? This edge doesn't really look as if it needs it, to be fair. But yeah, slap some of this on, see how it goes. There we go. I think I've got that all the way around. Just going to need some more in there. This is particularly ill fitting up here. Need be, if this doesn't get it, I'll need to get the Mr. Dissolve putty out, but we'll see. I'll let this cure overnight. So that's that. We clean this and some lacquer thinners. So this is just an old brush that I just use for putting on lacquer based putties and stuff like that. It doesn't get used for anything else. Right, so I'll let that sit on there as well, dry off. I've now got filler and putty all over the end of my fingers now because it was, yeah. Well done, Terry. Messy fingers. So I'm going to let that paint dry on there, which is my guide coat, sand that back and see what I've still got to fill. I can see a couple of areas that I'm still going to have to fill and rescribe. on there. And that's this wing together. And again, I'm going to have to let that sit overnight. Let that cure. Sand it back. Do all the same again. Rescribing and then attach it onto the engine cowlings. And I know that when they go together, it's going to be more of the same. So I think I'm going to end it at that just now. This was just really just a wee test. So thanks everybody that popped in to say hello. Obviously, anybody that watches this after I've been live, do feel free to put your comments in the section below. I'm thinking of dropping the Saturday night live shows altogether, and just concentrating on basically me enjoying myself, turning this back into more of a hobby, and you know, possibly doing wee late nighters or afternoon live at the benches, which is a bit easier to manage than doing Saturday night lives just on my own. So feel free to put any comments in the bottom of what your feelings are about Saturday night lives and stuff like that, because there won't be a crew anymore. It would just be me and the occasional guest or occasional friend on. It would be quite hard work for me actually to do that on a continuous Saturday basis. I was thinking more along the lines of maybe once a month doing a Saturday night live and doing an update on what you guys are putting in the cave. So let your feelings be known in the comment section. Obviously, I'll need to wait till this video finishes. But yeah, it was just a test. So I've got my broadband back. So yeah, I'm still here. But I think I'm going to be concentrating more on my YouTube content rather than the live show side of things. Apart from these wee sort of random at the bench things. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys think about it. I'm also going to be concentrating more on my Patreon channel. All the info for that, if you totally up to yourselves, but if you want to become a patron and support me, and you know, the tiers start for $1 a month. Again, in the section below, there's a little bit about all the different links and stuff. Totally up to yourself if you want to become a patron, but I think definitely when I do my electronic series, it's going to go. It's not going to be solely for patrons, but it's going to go live a lot earlier on Patreon before it goes live mainstream. So yeah, give my patrons that are subscribing and supporting me at the moment a wee bit more than the ones I aren't at the moment. So yeah, as always, look after yourselves, guys. Enjoy what you're doing. Happy modelling. I'm trying to get my mojo back. As I say, let me know your feelings about what you think about Saturday Night Lives, but I'll definitely not be in the format it was before. It's not going to be a big group of people. It would just most likely be either just myself or myself and an odd friend or an odd guest. And for me on a Saturday night, that's going to be quite a lot of hard work and probably not as much fun. So I'll leave that with you. I don't normally get any feedback unless it's negative feedback. So it'd be nice to just get like normal feedback and your thoughts and stuff. And so until the next time, thanks very much for joining in. Enjoy what you're doing and happy modelling and Terry Bogles. Catch you later.